Well, hello again. This is my second video for my Crosley console, which I picked up in the summer and just finally got time to pull it out of the cabinet and have a look at it. Uh, Ordered most of the parts that I think I'm going to need for this, and from what I could tell, originally the unit is pretty much as is, was never touched. What I did know I was going to run into was the issue of rubber coated wires. I don't even know if you can pick this up, but they're really not very good looking. Interesting, most of the tubes in this unit are still the original Crosley tube, and I pulled them out and put them in the tube tester, and they're testing good. It'll be interesting to see if they really are. But the unit does seem to be in great shape, pretty much untouched, and when I flipped it over, I can see that the unit has never had any work done on it. On the underside, I think I'm the first person to be in here. It does really look pretty ragged, but largely it's all here, and I did some preliminary checking around, and I do believe that the on and off switch is open. At least that's what it appeared when I put the meter across it. Not the end of the world, just a pain to try to find something to replace it. If I actually do that, it's not really going to be a big deal because this will be on a power strip. So next order of business here is going to be to do some rewiring to get rid of some of these ragged wires that are making a mess. You can see on my bench here, just flipping it over, the rubber wires are falling off. So I'm going to see about doing that. Pretty interesting. I was looking. This is the original electrolytic capacitor, and boy, if it's any good, I'd probably be surprised. But I'm looking at all these paper capacitors, and yeah, if you really look at them, they're not oozing out like I've seen in some units. But it's a really ugly looking dog bone resistor. I'm betting that this is no good. And the one next to it, I'm sure, is not much better. I think this unit is just going to be a complete change every resistor because I'm sure they're way out of tolerance. The unit was made in 1941. It's a I guess that would be a pre-war unit for this country, and amazingly in decent shape. One concern I do have is with the tuning capacitor. I have been reading on these Crosleys. They use tin for the tuning capacitors, and they develop whiskers. And one thing I did find with it is that it is extremely gummed up feeling. I did a little bit of work on it, just getting rid of the dust. Put a little bit of light oil on the bearings, and it's as far as I'm going to take it at the moment until I can actually power this unit on and see what kind of problems I have. I may actually just try to run a piece of cardboard, thin piece of cardboard with some denatured alcohol to see if I could just clear out and make it a little smoother. It almost feels like the plates are rubbing, but it's a possibility. I'm hoping I don't have to get extreme with it. I was reading where some people have restored these, and they ended up having to run some pretty high voltage through the capacitors to burn off the whiskers. I don't really know if I want to get that involved, but if I have to, it looks like it's a pretty easy unit to actually replace to take out the tuning capacitor. It looks like it's pretty easy to actually get in here, and I'm almost thinking I'm going to have to I'm going to have to pull it out anyway just to rewire it, because once again all the wires going up to the tuning capacitor are all rotted. So I was looking underneath, and there's some that are going to be really hard to replace. So I think it maybe the option there is just to put some spaghetti over them, some shrink tubing, and that way I don't have to address replacing the wire outright, since it's only the insulation that's crumbling. I'm pretty sure that will come right off if I give it a little bit of a tug and put the tubing over it. So I was down at Harbor Freight and I purchased a whole bunch of shrink tubing in anticipation of not being able to change some of the wiring. Anyway, so that's my Crosley. It does look like it's a pretty nice shape, and I said the pretty free at the moment. I think maybe a little bit of cleaning on the dial cord would help too, because the actual dial cord seems to be in good shape, and maybe that you just do a little bit of cleaning, and it will have a little better traction, because it's all pretty dusty. This face is going to come off at some point. It comes right off. Looks to be one of the easiest ones I've ever worked on, as far as pulling the dial off so you can get to the tuner. But I may do a little bit of work on this today. The other thing I have to work on, there's some external controls. You can see the plugs here. Now, those are all completely rotted, the wires, and they're easy enough to redo. The hardest thing I'm going to have with those is just getting them unmounted from the cabinet, because they use some clips that I know are fragile, and I just want to make sure when I take them off I don't end up breaking anything other than the clip, but I prefer to not break anything. And they have to come out and be rewired. But I picked up a tool at the Harbor Freight. I was reading on the antique forum. Some people had some suggestions on how to remove those clips, and the things actually look like almost like dental probes. So for $2 or $3, they were a good buy, and if they let me get those off, that would be a plus. Get them off without breaking, I should say. Anyway, that's what I have for today. I'll post some more videos as I make some progress. Have a good one.